You feel this nervousness on the phone there?
Sir, I've been trying to make an urgent phone call up there.
Well, I don't think it's something I want to do on an overseas phone.
You gotta make some phone calls. Hang up the phone. Prank caller.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Packernet After Dark. This is the call-in show, the Packernet Podcast Network. If you'd like to call in, if you'd like to participate in the show, please feel free to do so. The phone number here is 608-501-0718. New callers go directly to the front of the line. We don't have any new callers, but we got Garrett. What's up, Garrett?
Hey, Tony, it's Garrett from Southern Illinois.
What's up?
It's been a while since I called. It's just that time of year where it's peak season for where I work during the day.
You gotcha.
And had to get a lot of packages out to people, so
Forgive you.
working a lot of overtime and just not a lot of time to do anything else. So it's not been a great last few weeks, but forgive me if this has already been discussed, but I just wanted to address Malik a little bit. Who knew that a 7th round draft pick would bring in probably one of, if not the most quality backup starter that Green Bay's ever seen. And for guys who have followed real close, they know that we've had some quality starters develop that have gone on to other teams, like Mark Brunell, Kurt Warner, Aaron Brooks, Matt Flynn, to name a few. So Matt Hasselbeck,
yeah.
But we've had some pretty good guys that have come in and learned underneath the starting quarterbacks. And some of them have gone on to have pretty good careers. So I just want to wish Malik all the best. I know that it's most likely he'll end up somewhere where he gets a chance to start. And I honestly think probably one of the best places he could land, in my opinion, would be Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
You've got a really decent defense traditionally with this team, usually a good running game, and if they can just draft some quality offensive weapons for him, I think they could really utilize him very well. They seem to, use Cordell Stewart back in the day in the same way. So, and I think Malik is even better than that. So, who knows? I know there's other teams he could end up, but if I was going to pick, that'd probably be the team that I think he would end up. So, here's hoping we get a win next weekend and head into the playoffs with a positive note. It's Garrett, and I'm out.
Yeah, I hope I can wish him all the best, kind of like Justin Fields. You kind of root from him from afar because it doesn't matter because he's with teams that I don't care about. The Steelers would be one of those. Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers have been with the Steelers, and as long as they don't intersect, I'm fine wishing them the best and all. But if he ends up going to like Minnesota or something, I'm going to freak out. And we obviously have no control over that. And I don't know that would be a terrible spot for him. But we don't need to talk about that so much. But yeah, wish him the best and all.
Howdy, this is Jared, the Uber driver from Texas. And I'm sure you just saw Trevon Diggs signed by the Packers, allegedly, as far as I've seen.
Allegedly.
Hey, who knows? Probably just a body to be on the team. But hey, could never hurt to try. I did see that Basarki Productions posted something or released a video, and part of it was apparently his season passer rating allowed is 158.3. I don't know if that's true, but based on what you said on the podcast earlier, so I don't know what exactly that is about. But anyways, that's crazy. We actually apparently we're just picking people off the Cowboys. Now I think it's just a short-term thing. I doubt we're going to extend them, but who knows? Maybe we'll see. But yeah, what do you think about that, man? Go Pack, go.
Obviously, we talk about it tomorrow. I think you're right. It probably is more of a body thing with the injuries to especially Hobbs. He hasn't passed the physical quite yet, so it's not 100%, but I'm guessing it should be fine. I don't think there was anything wrong. I mean, he was playing football for the for a national football team, so I don't see any reason why he wouldn't pass that. But we shall see. And, again, I don't want to talk too much about tomorrow, but I will say that now that we have officially signed him, why not dream? Rasul Douglas wasn't a very good football player till he got here, and, go through the whole list of guys that, got quite a bit better after coming here. Could happen. You never know. Why not? Why? What? Now that he's here, why freaking mope about it?
Hey, this is Jared the Uber driver from Texas. Happy New Year, Packer fam. What are y'all up to tonight? With a 2.5-year-old and a 4-month-old, we're not doing much. Yeah. But I'm sure people have already called in about it, but we signed Diggs. Not the receiver, the corner. And I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. Apparently he's...
Did you just call about this? I'm confused. I don't know if you thought maybe the first call didn't go through or something. I'll assume as much. Omar the firefighter, what's going on?
What's going on? So Omar the firefighter, how y'all doing? Hey, I'm just calling, I didn't calm down or whatever after the loss, and my previous call kind of stated all that, or previous calls. But I was thinking, and I think something that a lot of people didn't realize or know of kind of how we build our team. And because if you look at it, the top 5 worst, rushing defenses in NFL history, giving up the most yards and touchdowns, the Packers are on there twice. But the reason is how they base our team. We base our team to be a pass rush team. Sure. Not to stop the run, but to pass rush because we've had great offense.
Well, that's just like all our offensive linemen are pass blockers. Is that the freaking cat again?
Just for so long. And which is great because in reality, if you got, Brett Favre, you got Aaron Rodgers, even you count Jordan Love, if we loading up the scoreboard, you're going to abandon the run. You're not going to run no more. You're going to pass. So therefore, we need somebody to rush the passer. So so that's kind of how we base our team. And I'm good with that, but our offense, I don't know, maybe because of the offensive line, but I think we probably need to maybe add that element back into it as a just in case, break glass in case of mercy. We got this defensive tackle that only can stop the run. He might be third string. He might not even play that much other than goal line, but we still need to bring somebody on the team like that. Also, our same thing is with our offensive line, and I think maybe more fans realize that part, that we value pass blocking versus run blocking. So, which I get because we pass the ball all the time. But I really think we need to change that mentality because especially being with the Packers, I know we always pass, but we need to be able to run the ball in December in the snow. You're not going to be able to pass for 300-some yards in the snow like that. That just, I ain't going to say you can't, but it's just, I feel like we need to be able to run the ball better. And I think they tried to do that with the offensive line, getting Belton, but he just ain't playing that good. But, hey, he's a rookie. Maybe he'll get better. Bakhtiari wasn't, he had the most holding penalties and stuff his first year, and he turned to an all-pro. So I know that's probably far-fetched for Belton to do, but we're just hoping that. But I think that's what we kind of got to, realize that's how our team is. And when I thought about it, I said, man, we give up the run a lot. And as far as, I'm about the 3-minute mark's about to hit me already. Let me call right back.
All right, part 2.
So I didn't finish listening to your pod, but I will. I know you were talking, I didn't get to hear the coaches that you mentioned. But as far as off seasons, I think we got to let Banks go to offensive line. I think you said that was 1-year deal, kind of like how Jacobs' contract was a 1-year deal. If it didn't work out, we could cut him, but it did. So obviously, that wouldn't be the case. I think because he is definitely not worth it. And I don't know, in the scouting department, maybe we had a high grade on him as a rookie. And then, we was like, oh, he's available. Let's sign him. He'll be great. But looking at the track record, I don't understand why we signed him.
I don't know.
He was terrible with the 49ers. So that was a terrible signing. I don't think we can cut Hobbs, but our cornerback group is so bad anyway that we might as well just keep him. He can play, slot or whatever. I know we got a good slot corner already, but just depth reasons only. There's no point in cutting him. I think it wouldn't help. I don't think we would save any money. So, but we definitely got to get rid of Banks. But the one that hit in my heart is Rashaan Gary. I know he's trying, but I think he only got 7.5 sacks.
Yeah, I get it.
And that was with Parsons, helping for most of the year. And he hasn't done anything recently. I mean, he's putting some pressure on it. He ain't been getting there. And I don't want to say he's been playing bad, but the amount of money he's getting paid is not worth it. He's probably more of a 3-4 outside linebacker than a 4-3 defensive end. So, and I don't think he's going to probably want to restructure his contract. So we're probably going to end up having to cut him, which I wish we just could restructure his contract. But we probably have to cut him and save some money. I don't even know if signing our linebacker is worth it. Maybe you can check and see what his grade is. But I don't feel like our linebacker's been playing top notch. So, but anyway, just give you some look at, why don't you look at a top 3 free agent defensive tackles that's available, top 3 offensive linemen that are available, and top 3 cornerbacks and linebackers. Just give something to talk about. And just, I know it's early, but those are the 3 positions we definitely going to need. And we don't have a first round pick. So we'll probably have to use some of that money we're going to save. Or if you think it's one of our guys is in the top 3, then they re-sign him. But we're going to have to let Gary, go or save some money because he's definitely not worth all that. So anyway, I'd like to hear what you think of those positions. All right, go back, go.
Yeah, I mean, you guys know I really like, and I think the better word to use is respect Rashaan Gary. I've always respected him. I respect his work ethic. I respect the way he puts his head down and everything. I'm not going to fight everybody to the death on it because I get what everybody's saying. I understand it. I mean, again, my biggest thing has always been snap counts, but it amounts to the same thing. I mean, there's no production, whether it's because he's being used in more run defense role or because his snap counts are lower. It doesn't really matter. You can't pay somebody that much money to do that. Now, you kind of brought up an interesting point that you dismissed, but I don't know if I would dismiss it, and that is a pay cut. And the only reason I say that is who's going to pay him? I'm sure he doesn't want to. I get that. And I'm sure he thinks he's worth more and everything, but that might be one of those, okay, then go test the market and come back to me kind of deals. And, there's nothing there. So the Packers might address it like they have a lot of other guys, which is either take the pay cut or we're letting you go. And his response will be fine, then I guess let me go. But again, there may be sort of a test the market deal. Oh, crap. Because the Packers obviously wouldn't be able to trade him on that contract. I shouldn't even say it because it depends who has what and how much is left on it and everything. This is all definitely going to be content as soon as the season is over. I'm not going to do it right now because once the season's done, we have a surplus of time and a lack of content. And like I said, I don't want to steal from off-season content this early. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back, and we got Jared, the Uber driver.
Howdy, this is Jared, the Uber driver from Texas. Day after the game. I know everyone's feeling bad about it. And look, I was also listening to the Pack Day podcast, and they said one thing, or one of the guys kept saying basically that, we're only in the playoffs because they designated a 7th playoff spot. Because there's no other teams that were good enough, but we're this bad and stuff. And, I get it. 3 straight losses, can't deny that exactly. But, it's kind of like we won enough before the 3 losses to have a chance at a playoff spot. So we were indeed good enough before. And who's to say we can't catch fire again? Look, I'm not saying we will. I don't give the slightest, I'm not going to tell anybody to bet on the Packers or anything.
Yeah.
I won't put my money where my mouth is there. So, but who's to say that, maybe after a week rest for especially Josh Jacobs and all these guys who didn't perform, and maybe Carrot and Valentine, a couple others need a week seminar of tackling drills and stuff like that. I don't know, whenever Carrington got shoved out of the way by Derrick Henry, he was trying to punch the ball out, but whatever. Maybe, who knows, maybe after a week rest and stuff like that, maybe they'll figure something out. Who knows? I still believe in my Packers. I know I've only listened to the beginning of your podcast today, and I know you've lost hope in them now, but that's okay. I get it. It makes a lot of sense. But yeah, let's see where it goes. I mean, by all instances, it looks like we're probably going to play the Bears, but we'll see what they do against the 49ers. Anyways, go Pack, go.
Yeah, I mean, and again, this is a lot of tomorrow's podcast type stuff, but similar to everything else at this point, why not lean into anything's possible type stuff? Even if you just get lucky. I'm not, you don't have to be the better team. You just have to win. And there's always going to be luck along the way. So it's a matter of who's more skilled, yes, but also who's going to be playing better on that day and who's going to get more lucky. That's going to happen for somebody. We might need a touch more luck and some bad calls to go our way than other teams who are more talented, but it's that combination for everybody. So you're right. They need rest. They need to get rested. They need to get healthy, and we'll see what happens from there. But we're in the playoffs. That's all you can do. So one step at a time.
Hey, what's up, Brian? It's RLS. Good morning. It's the day after the game. Just sitting here drinking my espresso, thinking about the game in the Packers season. And just thinking about person that keeps coming to my head is Rashaan Gary.
This is such a common thing for everybody.
I was never a big fan of the pick. I'm not going to sit here and say that he never brought any utility, or I can't understand, or I don't understand why Good picked him. Because I do. I get it. He's athletically, he's great. Pressure-wise, he used to get a lot of pressures. But I don't know. I just feel like even when he was drafted, that pick, when it happened, I was never a fan of it. And even when we gave him a contract, I'm just going to be honest. He has always reminded me of Nick Perry, right? Now, the traits aren't identical. There's just come on. The dog wants to play with the chew toy the second I get on the phone. Maple, stop. Maple. Okay, I'll leave. I'll go to the other one. I'll leave. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. He's always giving me the Nick Perry feel, where it's just you're missing all game, and at one point Gary would show up when it counted, right? He'd show up for a sack when it mattered, or a coverage sack when it mattered. But I was just always thinking I don't want to pay players that just don't have versatility, right? You're just a bull rusher. And yeah, you get pressures, but for me, his pressures were never effective. It was just yes, TFF watches the game and they see a pressure. But offenses know what you're going to do. You're going to bull rush, right? Or you're going to, you don't have a strong bend. They know what to expect from you. So even though you may get a pressure, it's it's identified. We know where it's coming from. And that's, I don't know, man. He just always gave me those vibes. So I'm honestly not surprised that after he got paid, he kind of just fell off. And the main reason why I think of him is because if you're going to pay somebody that kind of money, I need a leader. Like, you don't have to be as gifted as Parsons, but like, lead. You're paying for a leader on the defense. And I think about people whose play decline, like Julius Peppers. You know, he wasn't what he used to be, but the man was a leader. You could depend on him, right? The 3-minute munch is about to hit me. Let me just call right back.
Part 2.
Anyhow, I'm rambling, man. I don't know all the Packernet doesn't need to hear me get my thoughts together out loud, but I'm just very disappointed in Gary. I'm disappointed that we paid him. I'm disappointed with his performance after we paid him, and I'm not going to act like he's never done anything good. But for what he has given the Packers, you can get that from a lower tier player, right? UDFA or someone drafted in the later rounds or someone that costs a lot less money. And I think Goody has got himself in a position where we have players that are deserving to get paid, and we've got players that have gotten paid. Washington players, I'm not players that get paid. Well, yeah, we have players that have gotten paid and don't deserve it. The free agency signed this year. Hobbs didn't deserve that money. Banks, that's a whole different phone call. But that was just, I don't know what he was thinking. And now we got Gary. And I don't know, man. I don't want to bash Goot. I think Goot's a good GM. But I really think he was going all in. And I'm not mad at him for going all in because for decades we wish the Packers would do stuff like that. But I guess it's the consequence, right? This is one of the consequences. And I know we'll be fine. I don't know, man. I just thinking about Gary this morning just really made me mad because I watched that game yesterday and I was just like, you're not on the injury report. You haven't been on it. So I'm going to just assume you're not hurt. And if you are hurt, get your ass on it so that we can give you an excuse. But you got benched. He got benched. It wasn't, just pisses me off so much, man. Pisses me off so much that we don't have a leader on the defense now that Parsons is gone. Other teams lose their best player and they rise. They come together and they figure it the hell out. They do something. We lose our best player, and I'm not even like in the Chicago Bears game. We look good, but we look good because the Bears were beating themselves. You know, I think about that game and I'm like, yeah, Caleb made some bad decisions. The Bears would beat themselves. They made our defense look good. But what we saw yesterday, this is what the Packers defense is without Parsons. And who else didn't play? I think Evan Williams didn't play. But even so, I'm going to say Parsons. Without our top-tier player, and maybe I'll even throw in Wyatt, this is what we put on the field. I don't expect us to be a top 10 defense, but I expect effort. All we had to do was sell out against the run. That's all we had to do. And we had ran the over. I don't understand that. It makes me angry, man. All right, man. 3-minute munch is coming. I'm going to go. Peace out. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is just a topic on social media or if other podcasters are talking about it a ton or what, but I mean, this is very obvious that this is on the mind of like everybody. I will stand by the fact that the dislike of Rashaan is way too high. I mean, the narrative that you had sounded like a guy that, I mean, you mentioned that you can get that from a UDFA or whatever. He has been, outside of Micah Parsons, our best pass rusher, and it's not really particularly close. He hasn't been maybe what you'd like him to be for a relatively early or mid-first round pick. And again, I still think that the injury must have jacked him up because he was on his way to looking pretty special. And that obviously went south pretty quick. But I again, I'm not going to fight tooth and nail on it, but I do think some of the discourse is a little bit more, I don't know, distasteful toward him than what is deserved. And as far as paying him, I don't think anybody doesn't pay him. It's just, there's always those situations where there's a guy where it's like, if you let every single one of these guys go where you're like, I just don't think it's going to be worth that top contract, then you're not going to get anybody because that's just the way it goes. You pay those guys. You have to. And, on one hand, you're never usually feeling great about it, but on the other hand, that price always comes down, right? I mean, if you look at his average per year right now, it's really not even that high. But I would say Rashaan right now is massively underrated compared to how the fan base treats him. He's probably, with that said, overpaid. But again, take everybody that's overpaid and get rid of them and you don't have a football team anymore. That's just the way it goes. All right, let's take our final break. We'll come back. We got some beer cheese, a lot of beer cheese. Actually, we'll do 1265 first, and then we'll probably finish with beer cheese. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Well, good morning, Packernet podcast.
Hello.
1265.
What's up?
Sitting here this morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, watching the after game, interviews and the like. And
if you say Rashaan Gary,
one word came to my brain. One word. And it just encapsulates everything. Right at this current moment, and not saying it can't be fixed, but right at this current moment, the Packers are broken. They're broken. That's how I feel when I'm watching replays and listening to these guys, and they keep saying the same thing over and over again. We got to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, but you can only say that so many times before nobody's going to believe you. There's got to be something else.
Right.
What is it? You come out flat.
Well, and that's where, for me, like I get so annoyed with the press conferences because it is the same thing. I think the bigger question for me is I just hope this isn't what you do with your guys. You know what I mean? That it's not just, well, we got to be better next time, and then it's right back into the classroom. Like, I'm hoping you have more inspiring words than that to your guys on the meeting days and whatnot. Because if this is just it, we're screwed. Because that would just, why would anybody bother even listening to what you have to say?
What is it? Something is broken, and it needs to be fixed. I just can't put my finger on what it is. And generally, when I can't put my finger on what it is, I always go back to the head coach. Because the head coach is the heartbeat of the team. It's his team, right? I mean, he's the one making the game plan, calling the plays. I know he's not the one playing the game. I get it. But at some point, somebody has to be the voice of reason, and somebody has to be the one to pick these guys up and create a winning culture. And he has, but he's falling flat lately, and I don't know what it is, but something is broken, and it needs to be fixed.
Well, yeah, it's the team.
All right, that's what I got. Bye.
The team is broken, and that's I think that's legit. And I've said this 1,000 times before. It's everything looks great when everything's great, but when you're losing football games, which the Packers are, largely because of injuries and whatnot, then they don't look inspired, and it looks broken, and it looks like all these different things. I don't know that it's more deep than that. I think a lot of times we do put the cart before the horse. We're losing because the locker room looks so flat, and Matt LaFleur keeps saying the same uninspiring things at the press conference or whatever. Maybe it's the other way around. Maybe they look flat and uninspired because they're losing. And this is why we go back and forth all the time on this. We did this all year this year, where it was, the Matt LaFleur is a terrible coach, needs to be fired, all this stuff. And then the team's winning, and this is an inspired team, and everybody's fired up, and Matt LaFleur's a great coach, and I can't believe people said he should be fired. That's ridiculous. And we go back and forth and back and forth. And now we're on a 3-game losing streak, and unsurprisingly, we're back to, Matt LaFleur needs to be fired, and it's terrible coaching, and there's no inspiration, and nobody's motivated. Yeah, I know. Everybody's pissed because they're losing. They just have to find a way to win. Win, and it fixes everything. Win, and you become a genius coach, and you have overcome the injuries and all these great things. Lose, and you don't have the ability to do any of these things, and you freaking suck, and you should be fired. So it's up to you. That's just the way it goes. I don't know. It's not to say that the one doesn't lead to the other in some capacity, but I think it's far more the other direction. I think the lethargy and all that stuff comes from losing, more so than anything. But anywho, Beer Cheese, let's hear what you have to say.
Hey, Ryan, Beer Cheese Benny. Well, I went to bed immediately after the game, pretty much, or right after I called. I got some sleep, and who cares, man?
Okay.
So all I got to say about the game is who gives a damn, because...
Got some sleep, and who cares?
That's not all I have to say, obviously, you know that. I mean, is just getting in the playoffs every year just good enough for us? Like, because if we play like this, I'm telling you, dude, it's going to be a blowout. Like, I don't even care if it's the Bears. This is just like last year, you see at the end of the season, they basically preview what's going to happen, right? And what is being previewed right now is that the defense will just basically let the other team score at will, and the offense will be pretty decent, like nothing crazy, but nothing terrible. Although I am so effing done with Banks. That guy's a moron. Him and Rasheed Walker, as far as I'm concerned, they could just walk their ass out of Lambeau and walk home to wherever they're from. Because this shit's ridiculous, these penalties, man. Like, or Dobbs gets that freaking awesome, that was a great throw with the Dobbs. And then it's negated by a penalty after some fact, or we have to get moved back 5 yards. I don't know. That's just kind of stuff is just stupid, man. It's stupidity that we're dealing with right now. But, I wasn't on board for this, but I'm going to get there if we were a first-round exit, man. We need to fire LaFleur, man, because something has to change, dude. We got to get a new voice in there, or somebody that's going to get these guys to, I don't know, a new perspective. Honestly, I say make Hafley head coach. Screw it, dude. And then he can bring in whatever offensive minds he knows, and it'd be fine. But this game just absolutely made me
To be clear, the defense was the problem, though, right? Just throwing that out there.
sick, dude. How I just don't get how you can be so. We looked like the worst defense in the league, man. We looked horrible. And there was very few bright spots.
To be clear, we are working backward, and we're now at Sunday morning, so we're now back to peak depression time. I don't know. I think it was Arles that was talking about the Bears game was fake and this is real. Maybe. But couldn't we just as easily say the opposite, that the Bears game was real and this one was fake? Why don't we ever give credit in that direction? One of the things I brought up in tomorrow's podcast is, isn't there a giant sickness running through our entire team locker room with some of the guys not even able to play because they're so sick? I mean, I'm not just trying to make up random excuses, but it's a thing that could, if you're trying to explain the gap between one and the other, is it impossible that is part of the issue? I don't know. I'm not. You heard me. I'm not really expecting a massive rebound or anything. I'm obviously pretty down and out about stuff, but I don't know. We don't need to be. I don't know. I mean, do whatever you want to do. Fan how you want to fan, but we'll just see how it goes. I don't know. I don't know. There's too many unknowns to be so definitive about everything. I don't know.
Brian Birchie's Benny. Nobody respects the Packers anymore, man.
All right.
Got effing teams wearing cheese graters.
Yeah, that was bad.
At the end of games. They're just putting it on the game.
I mean, look, that's one of those things where it's like, you got to be smart and you can't be stupid, and I don't need you suspended for the playoffs, but somebody needed to run over there and rip that freaking thing off their head. Get that out of here. Rip it off his head, throw it in the stands. You're not getting that back. And you want to do something about it, go ahead and throw a punch, you get suspended. You cannot let, I'm so sick of these guys taunting our fans like that. Like, I get Rodgers flipped off the stands. I get that, right? That's right. Division rival, whatever. But we've got, the Jets coming in. Who else, Sauce Gardner was doing that crap? We got random people coming in here just dunking on the Packers. What the hell is that? You can't let people do that stuff anymore. I mean, you even got David Bakhtiari talking trash about our offensive line being soft, and Jordan's head gets pushed. And what did they do about it? Nobody ran over there to do anything about it. You're not going to stand up for your quarterback. That's terrible. You should be standing up for your stadium, for your team, for your quarterback. And again, you got Bakhtiari on social media being like, yeah, dude, I don't know. So just different breeds.
Even over yet, and Lamar Jackson's wearing the fucking cheese grater. Nobody fears Lambeau. This does not have the same mystique or value for us anymore because we're a joke team. What happened to the franchise that I know that it was all about busting ass and winning? And even if you don't win, showing fight, man. This is not the Green Bay Packers, man. We're a historic franchise, and that's all we have is our history. Nothing recently would tell you that this team is one of the most iconic franchises in football. I mean, you got LaFleur in the press conference say we had total control in the first half. When? When did we have total control in the first half? That's total bullcrap. That's just bullcrap, and I'm not going to hear it because no, we didn't. Yeah, our defense was horrible. There's no control there. Sure, the offense, you could say, was actually pretty decent. And they were moving the ball. But I don't care if you move the ball if you can't score in the red zone. Why is this always an issue, man? All the same issues keep coming up. And they don't get fixed. And he just goes up to LaFleur just goes up to the freaking podium. I got to see what went wrong, and we got to fix it, and I got to be better. But you haven't been better, man. You haven't been better once. It's been the same shit, different freaking day. Different game. And I'm tired of it, man. I'm just sick. I mean, it's one thing to lose, but when you lose at home like this constantly, just freaking embarrassingly, I just can't, dude. I'm sorry, man. And and I've been a big defender of LaFleur. I'm like, well, if you fire him, but at this point, what the hell even is he good for? Because we just keep doing the same shit over and over, man. And I don't know how much longer I can freaking stand that crap. The freaking Bears team, who's actually motivated, their coach motivates them. They're not even that good. And you have such a better team. You can't get them. You can't get them up for the games. You can't get them to do anything right. What is this crap? Better freaking figure it out. Next week, I better see some change. Otherwise, I know what's coming in the playoffs. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much we can really expect from anything. Again, I mean, on some level, I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. On some level, it does come down to the players, and if they just don't give a crap anymore, if they've cashed it in, maybe there's guys out there that can give such great rah-rah speeches it can change the world. I don't know, but I don't know. On some level, these grown men need to freaking man up and be men and do your job. I'm sorry that Micah got hurt, and I'm sorry that everything isn't going great for you right now. and you lost a bunch of games and you're sad and it's cold outside. I get that. Freaking oh well. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dude. But we'll see. We'll see if they play with a little bit more passion, a little bit more motivation, or if what we saw this last game is just kind of all there is. But I'm hoping you're feeling better, Beer Cheese, because I know this was right after the game, but you sound pretty sad.
What's up, Ryan Beer Cheese Benny? I'm at work. It's Sunday. I don't care. I'm gonna keep calling, dude.
All right.
Not keep calling. I'm just kidding, dude. Yeah. So it's clear that Rashaan Gary just he's not it, man. He gets bullied by wide receivers in the blocking game.
By the way, I see this is all on social media. I saw that same thing. He didn't get bullied by a wide receiver. Look at the clip. He did not get bullied. I read the comments waiting for one person to say that's not true, and not one person did. In no way did he get bullied. The receiver tried to push him, and he ran the other direction toward the player. The receiver didn't do a damn thing. He had no impact on Rashaan Gary.
And I just need to give the reins to LVN and Enigbare, man, because those guys actually show us stuff every week. What the hell does Gary do? I mean, come on. And what a terrible contract. Just get out of it, man. Next year we'll have Micah, Enigbare, LVN. I saw Micah, dude. He was on Twitter. He was like tweeting. He's like Luke Van Ness. He's like, dude, he's so fast up there. I'm like, yeah, dude. I never once seen Micah say nothing about Gary, bro. That dude would know. He's freaking world class.
Yeah, and I've commented on that. I don't think. I mean, what did he say about Enigbare? Nothing. What does that mean? Nothing. Doesn't mean anything.
Gary like, take away, we're not even talking about sacks or anything. The guy he's slow, dude. He doesn't, what does he really do for us, man?
Well, he leads the team in pressures, that's for sure.
Then you got bums like Nixon. We're just morons. Just clueless, get fooled by everything, fooled by every route. And then you can't even tackle. Valentine's like, I don't know, all right. But I don't know, dude. And I know Ed Policy is not effing around. It's over for these guys, man.
How do you know that?
LaFleur and Goody. I don't see why he would want him back. I just don't know how you could extend him. Yeah, we can keep pointing to LaFleur's record. Well, where has his record ever gotten us?
Wins.
I mean, like, if we want to keep being the 7th seed, sure. I guess you're cool with that. And by the way, the 7th seed didn't exist until, a couple of years ago. So if it didn't exist, we wouldn't miss the playoffs 3 years in a row or whatever. So I think I'm just worried about this offensive line because I know we have the receivers and all that other stuff to get it done. But the O-line's got to be configured better. And I don't even mind if all of our draft picks are O-line next year. I know we don't have any first-round picks, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, Matt LaFleur is operating an offense with 2 different quarterbacks and a terrible offensive line and 0 run game, and it is a dominant offense. So if you want to know what Matt LaFleur brings, I would say that is a good starting point. Again, it was Halfley, the guy that you said you want to be the head coach, that completely crapped the bed because our defense is what sucked. Would be my thought on that issue.
Ryan Beardsche's been one more freaking thing. I noticed this in the game. After about the 3rd touchdown that Derrick Henry had, it's how this team is just, well, it goes back to what I said about this team being mentally weak. I don't think that call got played, but this team is just mentally weak. They gave up the touchdown. You could tell by the body language of everybody on the team, they just gave up. They just didn't give a shit anymore, man. They're just like, well, I guess we're just not supposed to win today. Just ridiculous, man. No fight in this team. No heart. I don't care. I don't want to hear the excuses. Injuries. That's all bullcrap to me, man. That means nothing to me. I don't care.
I didn't even hear what you said.
At least show you give a damn and show some fight. This looked like just total, like, okay, we're out here. Let's just at least, like, move around a little bit. I mean, that's what it looked like, man. And I'm tired of putting up with this.
See, but this is the thing, and I've talked about this 1,000 times. You say things like, I'm tired of putting up with this. We do this thing where we pretend that a thing that happened has happened forever. That's very obviously not the case. We are 1 week removed from being very impressed with our defense after losing Micah Parsons. Against the Bears offense, that actually looks incredible, right? And suddenly our defense has one bad game, and it's the end of the world. I'm tired of this. I'm not putting up with this anymore. Putting up with what anymore? This is a new thing. This is brand new. I don't know what it is that we're putting up with that has been draining us this entire time. It's not. This is different. We haven't seen this all year. That was the first time we've seen anything like that from our defense all year, unless we were super vague and say things like heart or whatever, which is completely unfair to half the team that is showing up. And again, it's largely the offense that's playing well, so that would be hard to, is it the entire team that's unmotivated? Is it some players? Or is it maybe not even motivation? Maybe what we're upset about are players that are bad at football. Oh, they're playing without heart. Maybe they're just playing as much heart as they have, and they're just bad at football. We're looking at our defensive line, just couldn't stop anything. Yeah, maybe because they suck. Doesn't mean they don't have heart. I mean, if I put a 12-year-old out there and he gets dominated in the NFL, am I going to say he doesn't have heart? Or did he just freaking get dominated because he's a 12-year-old? Some of our players are bad, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to really say about it. It's a bad day. We don't need to. It was bad enough without us just making things up and making it seem a lot worse than it was. Which, by my definition of that would be, rather than saying it was a bad day, saying it's been a bad season or a bad, Matt LaFleur's entire tenure is worth nothing and just all this stuff. Like it was a bad day. That's what it was. It was our defense's first terrible performance of the entire season. So, at least in that same way, again, if we can be super vague and just point to any, Dallas, they gave up 40 points. I guess that was awful or something. I don't know. But, yeah, let's chillax. All right, one more beer cheese.
Brian Beer Cheese Vinny, I know you're going to get a lot of calls about this, but the play where it was 4th and inches, first of all, you run it out of shotgun on 4th and inches. Now, I understand if it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
I'm not doing that conversation anymore.
Yeah, whatever. But inches, come on, man. The play is so slow developing to get the ball to the quarterback and get it to Jacobs, and then our O-line can't block. Now, normally I'd say I don't agree with going for it there, but after what you had seen the defense do and let up, do you have a choice at that point? So for anyone that wants to complain, think about it like that. LaFleur knows that his defense is dog crap and that they're just going to give it up. So they have to just do this. It is what it is. They have to go for it on that 4th down. And it was an absolute fail. It shouldn't have came down to that in the first place. Should have just got the 1st down on the 3rd and 1 or whatever it was. But I don't know. My complaint is really not with the offense, but I just wanted to bring that up because I know it's going to be brought up. Because we were in our own territory or whatever. Maybe you shouldn't go for it, but again, the defense is going to blow it. They're just going to choke and just give up yardage, so it didn't really matter. The game was pretty much over right then and there. I knew we weren't going to be able to do anything. And it sucks, man. It just sucks seeing this team be so mentally weak. You know, and they always talk, we got to look ourselves in the mirror. You've been looking at yourself in the mirror all season, motherfuckers. Where the hell is the result of you looking in the mirror? Because I don't know what you're looking at in the mirror, but what I'm looking at is total dog shit. So, I want to get a new mirror. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Will the Packers effing fall? Yes, they will. OMG. Just totally uninspired, mentally unstable, unprepared.
Mentally unstable.
I mean, it's the same shit, different week, man. Let's start a winning streak, I guess. I mean, we already know, like, we're going to sit the starters, and then we're going to go into the wild card with rust on top of an already struggling team. We're going to go in with cold feet to the playoffs and get blown out. I'm just waiting for it, man. I'm just waiting for it, man. I don't have any belief in this. I just don't see it in another way, man. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Go Pack, go. I'm going to watch all the way through.
I guess that's the bad part about going backward is if we do get caught up, we got a random middle of the week, like super pissed off, like, whoa, what the heck is going on here? I hope you're feeling better, Beer Cheese, and I'm going to get out of here because I need to get this uploaded. Y'all have a good one. Bye-bye.